And what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Into the Bengal-Verse podcast. It's been a minute because I'm still working on some things. Still got some stuff going on outside, the Bengal life. But, hey, if you're new here, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Show your support. If you're returning here, welcome back. If you follow me and know where to reach me on social media, or if you don't, Into the Bengal-Verse on Instagram and YouTube, and at Bengal-Verse on Twitter. I'm pretty active on Twitter now. New to the Twitter community since, honestly, like freshman year of high school. But we're back. We're back for this, because this is a big freaking game. I'm recording this the day before, because, all the other pages, all the other people, let out all their takes and stuff throughout the week. I thought I would save this all for the day before, because we got some nitty-gritty stuff to get into as you listen to this, either the night before, the morning of, whatever the case may be. I am here to give my thoughts on this team as we go into Baltimore. But first, we got to recap this Lions game, okay? 34-11 win at Ford Field in Detroit. Man, did we smack them or what? No, seriously. We smacked them around. This is a team that took the Ravens to the brink, that forced the Ravens to hit a NFL record regular season kick. This is a team that was scrappy against Aaron Rodgers for about 2.5, 3 quarters. This was a scrappy team. And we played them coming off of a heartbreaking, pulling game against Green Bay, which obviously stunk. And this is a game, whenever you go against a winless team, the narrative is, trap game. No, listen. Good teams punish bad ones. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to say, the Bengals are a good team. I wish I had background clapping noise, but I don't. Okay? The Bengals are a good team now. And I'm sorry, but as a Bengals fan, speaking to you guys, I personally, I've always said this, I know my team to be good than bad. I wasn't around in the 90s. I was born in 2000. I saw the Ocho Cinco Palmer era. Didn't really see necessarily the early 2000s where they were still kind of rough. Didn't necessarily see when Marvin first came in. But I did see a little bit of Palmer, Ocho. And then I started watching this team since AJ and Dalton. And I know my team to have more winning seasons, to be a better team than not. And I am here to say, not only is this team farther ahead in the rebuild, we're back. Whoa, Mario, what are you saying? What are you saying, Mario? Hey, let me tell you something. I'm not saying we're a contender. I still got to see some more if I'm saying playoffs. But are we the worst team in the division? The answer is no. The answer is no. I'm calling it right now. Hey, spade's a spade, right? Isn't that the saying? I don't think we're the worst team in the division right now. I really don't. I think it was Baltimore, the way Cleveland's injured right now and the way we've been playing. I think we're right there. And if we beat Baltimore, oh my God, you guys just don't understand. All right, but no, we got to get into this Lions game, and we'll get to these freaking Ravens. This is a second team game, the ball cap game. What I mean by that is when you punish a bad team and the starters are still out there in the end for the other team and your backups are in, that's a really, really good thing for your team. To let your depth and your backups get playing time, to let them get experience, to let them get some game action so, they can get accustomed to it, because, they don't really play as much. So you got to, any chance to get your backups to play and your starters can just relax and pretty much watch the rest of the game, that's always a great thing. But once again, the Bengals against a bad team, they started out on the first drive, they did well. They scored, but they're starting to come out slow every game now. We're going into our 7th game of the season, and this has to change. I will say, though, in the second half, they did come out guns ablaze and absolutely smoked the Lions by scoring every single drive that they had in this game, including when the backups were in, I believe. And also, hey, 11 straight coin toss wins. What's up with that? I believe that's like a 1 in a couple thousand chance, like 2,000 something out of like one. What is it? 1 in 2,000 something chance, something along those lines. I know it's in the thousands, which is ridiculous. 11 straight. Can the streak stay alive in Baltimore? We'll see. But man, this defense, I haven't felt this good about our defense, honestly, since 2015. Now, I still do think 2015 was better. That team had more playing time together. The majority of those players, if not all of them, were brought in to do the team, except for Pac-Man. Like, we signed him from, I believe, I don't remember if it was Dallas or the Titans at the time. Might have been when he was with Dallas, because I think he was drafted by the Titans. But regardless, that team had more cohesion. They played together longer. This is a team that's coming off of a COVID year. You know, free agent signings all around, mixed with some players that we drafted. And, man, this defense is nuts. I believe we have the best safety tandem in the league with Bates and Bell. Other than that one Laviska Shenault play, and that was when Trey Waynes was in coverage, and that was on man-to-man. He might have thought he had safety help. Listen, other than that play against the Jaguars, can you truly recall when we've been beaten over the top yet? And hey, knock on wood or something, because it could happen against Baltimore. But seriously, do you recall the last time we've been beaten over top? Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, seriously, nobody wants to go up Bates. We've seen him, you know, people have caught something in front of him a few times. Nobody wants to go up Bates. Bell is all over the field making plays. This safety tandem is absolutely scary to go against. Great for us. Chidobe Awuzie is playing like an absolute stud. Like, seriously, I mean that. He's playing phenomenal football. Coming off of the year he had in Dallas and those years he had in Dallas, he is living up to not only his draft status, I believe he was a second-round pick, he is living up to the contract. He is playing well beyond the contract. It seems like we got a steal with his contract. We have Mike Hilton, who's a Swiss Army knife and an absolute stud, who's mainly here to help us win our division. Never mind the other games, which he's been playing fantastic, especially against the run. He's all right in coverage. We all know this. But as an overall football player, he is a stud. Can't wait to have 3 more years of him. And also, shout out to Mike Hilton for saying in that press conference, extend Jesse Bates. That's what he said. Exactly how he said it. That's exactly how he said it. Extend Jesse Bates. And that's true. We do need to extend Jesse Bates. So shout out to Mike Hilton. Shout out to the team for supporting Jesse. Hopefully that gets figured out at some point. Don't know if it'll happen this season. Hopefully it happens after the season. And then we have not Trey Waynes. No. We know how I feel about Trey Waynes. We had Eli Apple. And let me tell you something. Eli Apple only got targeted once against Detroit. What are the Lions game planning for? What are they doing? All due respect. They freaking targeted Eli Apple once. They made him look like Jalen Ramsey or something. The dude was on complete lockdown. They have no receivers. They decided to draft Penei instead of any other offensive weapons, which I don't recall they even had any to them at the time because we had Chase. Dolphins took Waddle. I don't recall. And then Pitts went. So, like, who was right after that? Smith. They could have taken Devonta, I guess. Probably. They chose Penei, and we didn't. We chose an absolute stud and now 3-time Rookie of the Week, Jamar Chase. And he's probably going to win more. The dude only had 4 catches for 97 yards. And guys like Najee had a really good game. Guys like Mac Jones. Nope. Jamar Chase. And we'll get into that. But back to the defense. Seriously. Real quick. I just listed the secondary. Logan Wilson. Second in the league in interceptions with 4. Absolutely stripped the guy as he went to catch it. Like, he kind of stripped it as soon as he caught it, so they counted it as a pick. Way to make a play. And honestly, that could have changed the outcome of the game because that gave us our momentum back. That was like the only real drive that the Lions starters like truly had against our defense early in the game. And we shut that shit down. All due respect to the language, but we shut it down. Seriously. The linebacking core is playing great. Logan Wilson is playing like an absolute stud. 3rd-round draft pick dude's playing better than Patrick Queen. And I mean that, and it's obvious. No-brainer. So we got Logan Wilson. We got Jermaine Pratt, who's been playing well going into his 3rd year. We got Akeem Davis-Gaither. I love Akeem Davis-Gaither, man. Hope he gets more playing time. The linebacking core has been playing nuts. And then we also have this beautiful, aggressive defensive line that is just teeing off. I'm going to be honest. You have Trey Hendrickson and then the rest of the fellows. Trey Hendrickson, I believe now has 5.5 sacks in the season. The dude is constantly, his motor is just, it doesn't end. Every single play, the dude is giving his heart out. He drew multiple holding calls on Panay, or at least Panay had holds on him. Panay looked bad, and I know he's a rook, but Trey Hendrickson baptized Panay like he did. He really did. Trey Hendrickson is really good. You know, I was skeptical. I thought Lawson would be better, and I know Lawson's hurt, so he can't really defend himself. But the way Trey Hendrickson's just been playing, at least maybe he was the final cherry on top to the way the defense has been playing, which can only get better throughout the season. Right now, statistically, the defense is playing like a top 5 defense. That is crazy. Top 5. We thought mid-20s. Top 5. Playing like that. They're top 10, no doubt, but they're playing like a top 5 defense. What is going on? Lou Anarumo, you guys think he should be fired now? I'm not going to lie, I wasn't a fan of him, but they're going into his 3rd year, given the players that he has, finally with a mostly healthy defense. Look what that man is doing. The dude is absolutely terrorizing other offenses. We held Aaron Rodgers to less than 30. I believe they beat us by, I don't think they had 25. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. We still got Mr. O, Larry Ogunjobi, still balling. DJ Reader is an absolute force. I believe he's one of the highest Bengals graded players on the year so far. And then Sam Hubbard. Man, that play he made against Jamal Williams, where he absolutely shoved him in the backfield to mess up his route to absolutely get gang tackled by, I believe it was Von Bell. Sam Hubbard's a stud in the run game. But I'm going to be honest, he's got to step up in the pass game if he wants to live up to that contract, and I want him to be re-signed. I love Sam Hubbard. And this is why we kind of needed Joseph Osai to not get hurt, because I believe Hubbard could have played, inside shoulder of the offensive tackle, and then had Osai line up in like that 3-4 role, and sort of like your Von Miller, TJ Watt, Khalil Mack type of guy who's like lined up on the outside. But you know what? Can't wait to get Osai back next year. But that's crazy, like how well the defense is. And Osai was looking really good in the preseason. And, it'll be nice to add him and hopefully more pieces next year going into the offseason. But we're talking about now. And right now, this defense has been playing great. Absolutely terrorizing this Lions offense with no receivers. They only had Hawkinson. But unfortunately, they have one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, along with a quarterback who has probably the worst contract in the league right now. And he threw it away on 4th down. For those that didn't watch the game, Jared Goff threw the ball away on 4th down. Andy Dalton is the only one. Andy Dalton's the only other quarterback that I know who's done that. 4th down, you better throw a pick before you throw that out of bounds. Give your team a chance. Why are you throwing it out of bounds, my guy? Seriously. All due respect. But hey, this defense, every time someone makes a catch, every time a running back runs the ball, someone is there. Someone is there. As soon as someone catches across the middle, boom. As soon as someone, bursts it up outside, boom, it's shut down. Every time. That's my favorite part about having a good defense. I personally enjoy having a great defense more than an offense because the defense just constantly bangs and bangs and bangs on the offense. Man, like I'm telling you, for those that know what I'm talking about, like it is such a great feeling where you just know like your offense ain't doing nothing today. Sorry. Obviously those, all defenses will get scored on. We're not the 85 Bears by any means, but like, it's just a great feeling to have a good defense again. And the last time we had a really good defense, it wasn't 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It wasn't any of those years. Or 21, it is this year. But you know what I mean. The last time we had a really good defense was between 2011 and 15, and that was when we were a playoff team. The way the team's playing, like you see the path. You see the path. They're definitely ahead in the rebuild. You definitely see the path in terms of how they can make the playoffs and how they're playing right now. The way the team's chemistry is just off the chain right now. The way Burrow, the coaches, whoever on defense, Von Bell and Bates, the way they're just leading the defense, the chemistry that they all have going on, the way that the team has been drafting captain after leader in the draft and just hitting on back-to-back drafts is how it's looking right now. But Bengals got a pretty good start right now at 4-2. And hey, shout out to Joe Burrow for finally sliding. avoiding some big hits. Dude does not know how to slide like a baseball player, but we all know that Murray, I would say Kyler, Russ, and Rodgers are probably the smoothest sliders in the league probably. And, that'll come with time for Burrow. I'm sure he'll figure out how to slide. I hate how he does the awkward, knee, landing on his knee thing. I'm just not a fan of that. But, so you have Burrow, who he got sacked, unfortunately, a couple times in this game. I said hopefully that won't happen, but you know what? It's the NFL. Dude's just getting paid to make plays. And on one of the sacks, there was a simple miscommunication where the offensive line slid left. It was a free runner. Burrow just does that classic, spin and just falls. But, Burrow's still getting into it. We've talked about this, and you hear it all over. When someone tears their ACL, yes, they can come back, but they'll truly be in their true form. Not that year they play coming off the ACL, but the year after. That's usually how it is. But Joe Burrow's still playing really good football. And, man, when he made that play on third down where he had the ball like this and a defender went to strip it and he just knew, eyes in the back of his head, just held it down. He, literally, he stepped in the pocket and, someone was about to strip it and he just was like this, held it down and then ran for that first down. That was pretty nuts. That was a crazy heads-up play. Burrow's playing really good football. He had 3 touchdowns this game passing. Now tied with Dan Marino, I believe, for a first or second year QB to throw 2+ touchdowns in their first 6 games. Burrow and Dan Marino are the only ones to do that. You see the path for Burrow to be great. I believe he's going to be great. I believe he's a top 10 quarterback right now. Yes, he's had those few questionable passes so far this season, but he's still getting into it. People are holding him to a high expectation, which I honestly love. Dude's coming off a torn ACL. Dude's still really young. You just gotta love it. And he's officially, by the way, Joe Burrow's officially through 16 games in his NFL career. So, hey, good job, Joe. Also, he had 1 interception, which was unfortunate because it bounced off Jamar Chase's hands. It wasn't like it was a blatant interception. But you know what? It happens. You got to catch the ball, Jamar. But, who am I to tell Jamar that? Because the dude can catch the ball. Absolutely nuts. And then, man, let me tell you something. Do you hear that? Oh, yeah, nobody's talking about our offensive line. The people that were yelling at us to take Penei Sewell, who I was teeter-tottered the whole year in terms of who we should take. But once A.J. Green left and I knew that we needed that number 1, Chase had to be the guy. If you have an average offensive line, you can win in this league. We know this. You got a great defense, a good O-line, a good O-line, and a really good quarterback. You can win in this league. And we got Riley Reif. We got Jackson Carman, who's getting better each week. And unfortunately, he was sick against Detroit. And we're going to talk about the O-line. But, Quentin Spain's playing out of his mind like he's back in Tennessee, which I honestly love because when he was on Tennessee, I said I wish we had him. I mean this. Back when I was younger, watching him on Tennessee with that really good O-line. And Quentin Spain's playing nuts. Jonah Williams is living up to his rookie contract, looking like the offensive tackle that we wanted all along. He's staying healthy, knock on wood. Gotta love everything that's going on there. Trey Hopkins, I believe he might be the worst starting center in the league right now grade-wise. And I know he's coming off a torn ACL. He's always been average and solid, like as a player. He's always just been average. He's never been playing above average or below it, just average. And, you can live with that as a center. But this year, he's been playing really bad. Going against power, bully, defensive tackles, really strong guys. You're getting pushed back. As much as I love the guy, next year I think it might be time if he wants to stay with the team, have him as a backup center, which would honestly be perfect. But Trey Hopkins, man, he's got to step up or something. Because they're load managing him as best they can. I love the guy. But something might have to change there at some point. Trey Hill started the game at right guard while Jackson Carman was sick. Eventually, Carman came in. Trey Hill, he held the team back the first drive, I believe. The second drive early in the game, and he ended up getting pulled. He's a rookie. He looked kind of overweight a little bit. But you know what? Like, whenever he did block, it wasn't the power that was the problem. It was, like, technique at times or just rookie mistakes with false starts. But then eventually when he came back in the game with the backups at center, he played center to finish the game with the backups, he looked pretty good. He looked like he could be our starting center in the future or whatever the case may be. So, gotta keep a lookout for that. Riley Reef, these past few games he's been kind of but I believe he'll be able to shake it off. He'll be all right. But once again, the O-line has been playing average. They are even better QBs than, I don't know why I did that. There's better QBs than Burrow at the moment. Hopefully Burrow will eventually be that top 5 quarterback like we all believe he will be, or top 7, whatever the case may be. Just a great quarterback. He's really good right now. He's transcending throughout this year and throughout the rest of the year. But there's better quarterbacks than Burrow in this league that have been sacked more, hit more, whatever the case may be. So when you win, the media will not give you these stupid BS narratives about certain positions or anything, or come up with anything just to like absolutely bash you. There's certain people in the media that are like still not buying in. Like, these aren't the same old Bengals. And once again, through 2011 to 15, we were a great team. Regular season wise, obviously there's no playoff success. We were a really good team. And the media wasn't talking then. And then because of the 90s and prior, as soon as we have one losing season, same old Bengals. Like, get out of here with that BS. I know my team for being a good team. I understand that they're cheap at times. They, depending on who you ask, they should have an indoor practice facility. The more I think about it, though, and obviously, it would be nice to have resources for your billion-dollar team. Obviously, it'd be nice to have those things. You should have those things to spend those things for the team. But I honestly believe that if you practice outside during the winter or in the rain or in bad conditions, like, that kind of prepares you for, and it makes better conditions easier and it makes worse conditions more manageable. Like, you're able to play and adapt because you're already practicing in those conditions. So, I'm pretty sure the Patriots have an indoor practice facility and they still practice outdoors with, like, Bill just hasn't practiced outdoors just to prepare for those conditions. Like, they almost beat Tampa, practiced in the rain, they played in the rain, and I'm sure that they were prepared for a rain game because they've done it before. I'm sure. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I would just assume that. So yeah, like I said, with this offense, the offensive line, they're doing good enough. Drew Sample, he'll never live up to that second-round pick status. He had a chance to make a really good contested catch and possibly get in for a touchdown. Absolutely just got the ball swatted out of his hands. And whenever he does try and get included in the offense, he just looks scared whenever he gets the ball and really conservative. So I don't know what's going on there. I have no clue what the future holds for him. And even as a blocker, he's been kind of So we'll never truly know what this team was thinking when they drafted him. It's whatever. We just got to live with it. Auden Tate, fans have been clamoring for him to get playing time. Got playing time as a backup. Got a touchdown. Got to love to see that. Because, everyone loves Auden Tate. Evan McPherson, all is good with him. Didn't miss a PAT or a field goal this game. Especially after having the jitters and Cincy. But I don't think it was the jitters because him and Crosby both missed a bunch. So, everyone's like, it's all McPherson. Crosby missed too. Like, something had to be going on with the wind over there. And, hey, all I got to say is we smacked the tears out of Dan Campbell. We smacked the tears out of that man. That man was crying for his team. There were no tears. He just straight up said, yeah, they whooped our ass. So, you got to love that. Burrow, 19 of 29 for the day, 271 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception, 5 carries, 20 yards. Joe Mixon had a day, 18 carries, 94 yards, 5.2 average. And that beautiful receiving touchdown that we ran against Cleveland on fourth down, on 4th and 1 to Gio Bernard. The same formation, the same play. We ran it for, I believe it was like a 40-yard touchdown to Mixon. And before it was a touchdown, I had a feeling he was just going to get tackled inside the 5. And then out of nowhere, the Flash, the man himself, Jamar Chase, just comes out the cut and absolutely freaking bodies the corner. Now, he didn't stick him out, but he beat him off the block for sure. And then the guy just fell down, getting for a touchdown. Even Mixon, this was a absolutely iconic moment for the team this season, for years to come, to set the tone, to play team football, to always run to the ball. What Jamar Chase did, you don't see star wide receivers or like draft picks of that high making plays like that. You just don't. The dude is a team player. Mixon was going to get tackled, and Jamar hustled to the ball, hustled to Mixon, and made that lead block to let Mixon get in free. And Mixon was saying it. That's his touchdown. That's Jamar's touchdown. Like everyone's loving it. Everyone's been talking about it. The NFL's been talking about it, saying, "Oh, Jamar can block too. Dude can block better than Panay." They said Bengals need someone that can block. We got Chase. I love the way the receivers play in the run game. They're physical. They love to make those aggressive plays to help out the run game. And then, nobody's complaining about touches. Winning football is contagious. As long as you're winning, it's hard to really complain. And, Mr. Third Down, Tyler Boyd, hasn't been really included in the offense these past few games. I believe this upcoming game, which I'll get into, could be that for him. Same with T. Higgins. The way the offense is built, it could be anyone's day, whenever. But as of right now, every game has been Jamar's game, and we're just living in his world right now. Because before the half, when we were only up 7-0, Burrow, okay. Whenever we have, like I said, we've won the coin toss for 11 straight times. Whenever we know we're going to score or we're going to get the ball in the second half, we always somehow have gotten the ball. I believe it might honestly have been every game so far. We have the ball before the third quarter, and we just, within those 2 minutes, Jamar Chase, I believe, has like the most deep catches, the most production in those minutes. Same with Burrow, like if any, like tandem right now. And Jamar, just beautiful sideline catch, deep ball, like just first play off the rip, or one of the first few plays. Like Jamar, whenever it's in those minutes, like you got to guard Jamar. And they were trying to stop his deep ball. But as soon as the Lions wanted to change something, because of the run game, and they had to stay honest to the way the offense was playing, Jamar Chase deep ball, boom. Seriously, this dude's a stud. He's really, really good. He's already on pace, having a better year than Justin Jefferson did last year. And if you ask me, he's playing in a harder division than Justin Jefferson is. So, I don't know, man. Still a year left to play, but right now Jamar's probably a top. I honestly think he's probably a top 10, and he's top 5 in receiving yards, and off less receptions too. Whether you want to give him credit or not for the whole, because all of his yards are coming from mostly like the deep balls, and. Yes, he's really good at the deep ball receptions and making plays, but like he's really good in space, like in the intermediate game, which is honestly where Joe Burrow has been best, but he's also been one of the best deep ball throwers in the league because of Chase. For anyone that thought Burrow can't throw the deep ball, he was completing the deep ball at only 19% last year. Now he's completing it, I believe, at like 44% this year, which is one of the best amongst all quarterbacks. Like, Once teams just say, no, you guys aren't going to get any explosive plays, I believe that's when the offense will truly shine. The offense will truly click. Everyone's going to eat. I believe on games where they're like, Chase can't get a deep ball. Okay. You want to put your best corner here? Okay. We have T. Higgins. Okay. You have 2 really good corners? All right. No shot, you have 3. No shot, you have 3. That's super hard to have in this league. And our receivers are just good enough to where you're not stopping this offense. And this offense has been helping win games. Mostly the defense has been playing great. The offense has been helping win games, but they're not even like at their absolute best yet. They're still getting better each week, at least trying to be. And that's nuts to think about. So, you have that. And then, hey, shout out to Chris Evans, man. The man who said he was watching a football game at Detroit around this time last year. And then a year later, or a couple years later, not only does he get his first, major action in an NFL game, he absolutely makes the linebacker pay by lining up on him in the line of scrimmage and absolutely torching him for, the touchdown. Chris Evans was the first one who got that touchdown. I said we got a touchdown on the first drive. It was Chris Evans who got that touchdown. He looked really good. And on a play where Burrow got sacked in the red zone, he checked it down to Evans, and he ran all the way back to the, practically like inside the 5 to help us get a touchdown. Like we could have settled for a field goal, and he bailed us out of that and helped us get a touchdown. Chris Evans looks like Gio Bernard 2.0. And he was really good in blitz pickup, which allowed Burrow to complete that deep bomb to Chase, not the one on the sideline, the one down the middle. So Chris Evans looking really good. So I know Samaje got activated off the COVID list. So we'll see what happens there. But Chris Evans is better than Samaje. I want him over Samaje Perine. But we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I personally want Evans. And man, this team. And hey, one more time, Jamar Chase, 3-time Rookie of the Week. Just wanted to say that. Number 1 against anybody in single coverage in this league right now. And top 5 in receiving yards. On pace with Randy Moss. Only other 2 wide receivers in NFL right now. He's on pace with him. Nobody else is in the same conversation in the rookie year. Just saying. As much as I love AJ Green, as much as I love Ocho Cinco, barring an injury, the way that Burrow and Chase have chemistry and the way he's been playing, the dude could and probably should and will have a better year than Ocho Cinco and AJ Green, which is nuts to think about because he has AJ Green's humbleness and big playability, but he kind of acts like Ocho Cinco in terms of like celebrating or like that suave, that little like aura he's got to him. Like he's literally like the. But like if you just if this is Dragon Ball Z and they just fuse, like you take AJ and Ocho and just boom. And it's crazy because everyone's like, oh, this like certain receivers are better route runners than him. He's gonna get even better over time. Look what the dude's doing. Top 5 receiving yards, and his game's still rusty in some aspects, if you want to put it that way. Like, this is ridiculous. But, hey, that's it for Detroit. Great win. And now we got this game. And that's why I got this purple going on. That's the only reason I got the purple going on. Because we're going to Baltimore. It's just me all alone in Baltimore. This team facing adversity. Going into Baltimore. But you know what? I'm all good because I got 18 guarding me, man. My guardian angel in Baltimore. AJ Green is known as the infamous Baltimore killer. Whenever we would play Baltimore in AJ Green's prime when the team was really good, nobody was stopping AJ. And we were ahead in the all-time record versus Baltimore. We would always either sweep them or split. Never the other way around how it's been these past few years. And my question to you guys is, Tyler Boyd, it's not his fault because the offensive line, the offense, and just going through the rebuild, it's been hard for anyone in the offense to really step up. We haven't beaten Baltimore since that home game when we were like 3-1. When everyone doubted us to win that game. AJ Green had 3 touchdowns in the first half, I think. He had the hat trick, I know that. I know he had 3 touchdowns. Billy Price was starting at center in his rookie year. This was 2018. Jesse Bates had his first pick, and it was against Joe Flacco. Lamar Jackson was just a rookie getting, a few of those RPOs when they would just throw him in, the way they put Justin Fields in the game, when Andy Dalton was playing this year. And my question to you guys is, who's going to be the Baltimore killer? Is it still Tyler Boyd, Mr. 4th and 12, putting away Baltimore's playoff hopes, sending the Bills to the playoffs? Is it him? Is it going to be Burrow? Is it going to be Chase? Who's going to be the Baltimore killer? Who's going to step up in this game? These past few years, Lamar, they're making this whole spiel. Lamar's 5-0 against the Bengals. We've sucked these past few years. No shit, they're going to beat us. Like, what I mean? I mean, obviously, you want to win, but the way they've just been playing these past few years, like, they're going to win. Like, don't act like he owns it. I mean, he does. But, Michael Jordan said it best, it's easy to talk when you're ahead in the game. It's easy. But when it's tied, or when you're down and you talk, like, and you still talk smack, like, that's respect. But it's easy to talk when you're ahead. When the team is way better, that's like the Packers. Like, going into Detroit and just, like, they're going to win. Like, it shouldn't be a stigma. It's not like both teams are, like, really good. Like, it's not like the Chiefs and Chargers and, like they're just going to be going at it for years to come. Like, it's not like that. Like, that's like a really bad team, like the Browns versus, like, the Rams. Like, I don't know. And, we had rookie Burrow last year. And, he obviously looked lost. If you look at his numbers from last year to now, him against the Blitz, like the Blitz, like in general, his grading was pretty bad, just like the deep ball. But this year, when he has the pieces on O-line, he has the offense working for him, he has Jamar Chase. He's top 5 in the league against the Blitz. I believe he's number 1, but like in other aspects, he's top 5 in the other aspects. But he's number 1 against the Blitz. He knows where to check down. He knows what he's doing. Against Jacksonville, he even said, "You can't zero me. You can't zero me." He said that he knew that the Jaguars defensive coordinator had a Baltimore background. He's been studying his ass off in the film room, just like the whole team has. And I was listening to a podcast today, and the Bengals, they have throughout the summer, throughout the offseason, they have weeks where they just study each divisional opponent's film. And Jesse Bates has said it best, like she truly feels like they understand what Baltimore's going to try and throw at them and do. And I just think that Burrow's going to be ready for this game. You see a quarterback like Derek Carr who doesn't see the AFC North every year, yet the way he handled Baltimore week 1, the way you saw Wentz handle Baltimore with their blitz packages and all those things, without Quentin Nelson, when they have a good defense, solid front seven, you see other quarterbacks able to adapt to their blitz and just know where to go. And I believe Joe, in his second year, will be able to handle this game. He'll be able to handle that defense. It's not going to be a Lamar, he's Houdini, absolutely just stomping his, foot on her throat. Like, I just don't see that. I think this is going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be a really close game. And, this is going to be an epic battle for years to come, us in the Baltimore. And like I said, we were ahead in the all-time series. Now they're up by 4, I think, 27-23. Might be different than that, but I'm pretty sure that's close, or that's the number. But I think we can get back into this rivalry in terms of winning again, or just making it really competitive and fun again against Baltimore. And I truly think we definitely can win. And this would be a statement game. If we lose, I won't be worried. Like, I just won't. We got the Jets and then the Browns, like, after that, and which I believe, obviously I'll get into down the line, but I believe we'll beat them. But, if we win this game, especially, not only does it put us in first in the AFC North, it puts us first in the AFC, and this is a really hot Baltimore team right now. Like, they're one of the hottest teams, best teams in the league. Depending on who you ask, Baltimore, it took them NFL record to beat the Lions, like a game-winning field goal. They came back against the Colts in kind of a fluky fashion. They've had so many games where it's just been close, where they should have lost. But you know what? They're 5-1. They're where they're at, where we are at. And they've lost players like Peters, all their running backs, like Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, and they just lost Ronnie Stanley, who's an all-pro left tackle, and it's just weird because that's a team that just gets better the more players they lose. That's the definition of next man up. That's the definition of having a really good coaching staff. But, we finally got the monkey off our back in terms of Pittsburgh. And we lost to Cleveland. Okay, the first loss, fine. Last year when we lost to Cleveland, we should have beat them. Like, we really gave up all that ground last year to Cleveland with 40, I believe it was 40 seconds, and they had no timeouts, and they just kept picking on Darius Phillips. Like, Cleveland, I'm not scared of, never will be. Pittsburgh, I'm not scared of, and I'm not scared of Baltimore because we have the quarterback going in the second year who can adjust to that blitz. Like, I truly believe so. Like, if we win this game, I mean, I still think we can make the playoffs if we lose. But if we win this game, it's like, yeah, we're a playoff team. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. And if you look at the AFC, I mean, it's kind of weak right now. I mean, yeah, I think 3 teams could make it out the AFC West, or 2, because the Broncos are, we'll see what happens with the Raiders. They obviously had the coaching change. They ended up beating Denver, but Denver right now looks like a bad team. Went from 3-0 to 3-4 and having those 3 wins were against the worst teams in the league right now, or some of them. And so maybe let's say the Raiders don't make it, and it's just the Chargers and Chiefs that make it out. You look at the AFC East. I guess the Bills just make it out. I don't think the Patriots will make it. You have the AFC North, let's say us and Baltimore. And then you have the AFC South, and then you have Tennessee. And then who takes that 7th spot? I mean, the AFC is like kind of wide open right now. The Titans just beat the Bills. Obviously, props to the Titans. Josh Allen could have got that, if he didn't slip, But, like, the AFC is wide open. It's wide open. We beat the Titans last year. I think we could truly make it, win or lose this game. Obviously, we want to win. This is a very winnable game. But let me tell you something. Lamar Jackson, when we had a healthy defense last year, had the spies, had the most part. We had Reader in the lineup. He only had 2 rushing yards in the game. Now, that might never happen again, but we know how to contain him. We know how to stop the run. That is what this team is built for. Offseason after offseason. Free agency signing after free agency signing. Trey Waynes mainly signed him, not because necessarily due to coverage, just overall skill as a corner and be able to stop the run. Obviously, we don't have his presence anymore, but at least for the time being. But all these free agent signings have been to stop Baltimore. Have been able to score against teams like the Chiefs. That is the way this team is built. Stop the run, deal with the pass second. This team is literally the definition of you are not going to run down our throat. We won't let you do it. We're not going to let it happen. And obviously against the Packers, they got some chunks like towards the end when it was a really, slow game and it was just a mainly defensive battle. But even then, we've held all opponents in check. Your running backs aren't going to do anything to us. But we did struggle against the RPO against Jacksonville. So we'll see what happens there. But this is a game where we're going to see what this defense is truly made of. Okay, we went against Rodgers. We went against, we smacked Ben around. We beat, we stopped Dalvin. We shut down Montgomery. What are we about? What are we about? How are we going to take care of business in Baltimore? How are we going to do this? I think that we're going to be able to keep Lamar in check. You can't stop Lamar. You can only contain him. I think we will be able to do it. And everyone's going to be whoa, how are they doing this? We'll see. Yes, they blew out the Chargers. They did. But I still think it was a fluky, West Coast coming to the East Coast. And, the time change. And, if they play again 10 times out of 10, I don't think it goes that way. And I just think that the Chargers got too aggressive by wanting to go for a 4th down too much in their own territory. And it just didn't pay off. And then obviously you give Baltimore the ball that down a distance, But the way Baltimore made Herbert look is how we looked against Baltimore last year. But we play them twice a year. We see their film constantly. Unless it's the playoffs, the Chargers don't really have to worry about Baltimore. I truly believe we'll be ready for these guys. I believe the O-line will have better communication. I believe Chase versus Humphrey. I think Humphrey's going to be on Chase. I believe that will open up the offense because I think Chase will still be able to beat Humphrey. He's got a really good shot at it. And then you guys have Boyd and Higgins with, lesser off corners, and they should be able to beat them. I'm ready, man. I'm super pumped. People don't talk about it enough how well we played against Lamar last year when our defense was somewhat healthy. And our defense has got even better. I believe Hollywood Brown ain't going to get nothing over the top. I think Mark Andrews might do something, but, still, I just think the way this defense is playing, and if the offense can figure it out, man, this could be an absolutely great Sunday. It really can. And let's say we lose, which hopefully we don't. We still have an opportunity to split, or whatever the case may be. But by no means do I think Baltimore is absolutely blowing us out. No means whatsoever. And I can't wait to see what Lou Anarumo has schemed up, especially with a better defense. Can't wait to see how this defense plays the RPO. Can't wait to see how they play the read option with Lamar. And I can't wait to see Burrow handle the blitz. I'm so glad I'm doing this on a Saturday. It honestly feels really good because I'm just venting this all out now. Just getting my mind focused and ready for this game. Super freaking pumped. And let's get a win, man. Seriously. Can't wait. But yeah. If I missed anything, I'm sure I'll cover it or address it on Twitter or on Instagram. But that's going to do it for the Into the Bengal-Verse podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Mario Malave. So yeah, let's get a win tomorrow. Let's feel good regardless, no matter what. We're 4-2 right now. Worst case scenario, we go 4-3, and we got the Jets next week. And I'm not overlooking them, but hey, we should smack them around. But hey, like I said, it's going to do it. Once again, as always, I'm going to leave you with a great day, and a blessed day, and a who day. Take care, folks.